The feeling is electric in Stephenville, Texas, where they welcome back their giant killers for the home opener. The number 3 Tarleton State Texans taking on Mississippi Valley State at Memorial Stadium. And new head coach Terrell Buckley ready to try to pick up a big victory. The new student run featuring 4,000 new students here in Stephenville. And welcome inside with former K-State linebacker Heckma Harrison. I'm John Little. Great to have you with us. Wow, what a moment for Tarleton State going to Army in West Point.
Gentlemen,
knocking off
welcome
Army
to the game today.
Overtime.
Here's our
well,
coin.
You said it right.
The side with the horse.
Killers, and that's what FBS is feeling about Tarleton State right now. And there is a buzz about this 2-0 squad. Ben, they are looking down the barrel this season, and they are unafraid.
They are the only 2-0 team in the FCS right now. They've done it with balance over the years, and they've got more great running backs, including Caleb Lewis. What a night he had last week.
Man, I think they have a great running back around every corner here because Caleb Lewis is just another in the long list of great running backs that come through Stephenville. 334 yards last season, but man, he is on a tear. Last week at Army, you can see right here, he is not the guy that you arm tackle. Great contact balance because he will walk into the end zone.
Hey, but the Tarleton defense has been great as well. They'll need to step up once more because Mississippi Valley State features a very solid dual threat quarterback in Joshua Brown.
Absolutely the dual threat in Joshua Brown. And I tell you what, 12 for 25, 146 yards and 2 touchdowns last week versus Southern in a loss. But I tell you the great thing about this guy, he led the team in rushing. If they are successful here in Stephenville, it will be because of Joshua Brown.
And he will get the start today for a team out of the Valley that is looking for a big knockout punch against a great team in Tarleton. What will Tarleton State do about it? The third member of our crew is Kendra Sheehan. Kendra, you think Tarleton's going to be ready to take this punch today?
The Texans returning home after 2 impressive wins on the road. And the question for any head coach is, how will my team respond to success? For head coach Todd Wynn, he believes his team is ready to go with the veteran squad and the great practices they had this week. In fact, he said they'd be surprised if his team wasn't ready to roll first snap. On the other hand, for Mississippi Valley State, head coach Terrell Buckley said it's all about being competitive today. He said everyone on the team likes to call themselves, quote, dogs. Well, here's their chance to prove it. John?
Thanks so much, Kendra. And Coach Buckley and Mississippi Valley State looking for that first big win for the Delta Devils. They have not beaten an FCS team not in the SWAC, well, since 1991 when they did it to Central Arkansas, who actually at that time was an NAIA team. Tarleton unveiling some brand new uniforms for this year in front of a pretty packed house here at Memorial Stadium. And they are excited about watching this team in action. Of course, last year, Tarleton was eligible for the FCS playoffs for the first time, Heckma. Went a couple rounds deep, losing out at South Dakota, but a win like they had over Army has this Tarleton team thinking even bigger.
Yeah, partner, something feels different about this season. This squad, again, a huge win against Army. And you could just tell, if you hear this crowd before kickoff, they are ready for the guys in purple.
Fantastic kickoff, and look at that bad luck slip by Caleb Brownlow. The freshman slips down at the 1-yard line, just losing his footing. And that's tough to do against this Tarleton State Texan defense that's been so excellent this season. They pitched a shutout on the road against Portland State to open up the year. And then what they did against Army as well. That's what Josh Brown has to worry about. Brown transferring in from Shorter University, where he was a 2-year starter at that Division II school. And so a guy that has some experience as he looks to lead this offense.
Yeah, he is coming up against a Tyrone Nix defense that is stopping the run and turning over offenses. Tell you what, they are in a pickle right here to start this game.
And a tight formation on first down, and they put it in the hands of Joshua Brown, who's able to bounce to the edge and pick up 3 yards to the 4-yard line, tackled by the 6'4" cornerback, Dabari Hawkins. But in order for Mississippi Valley State to be successful, I think Joshua Brown's going to have to do some things with his legs.
Yeah, he's going to be forced to do that, but boy, that run right there, all that was just getting them a little bit of breathing room to start this first drive.
Brown facing a blitz. Ball popped up in the air and incomplete. Great rush off the edge by Tarleton, and it nearly ended up in a pick. Josh Griffiths, who was at Tarleton in 2023, went to Oregon State for a year and transferred back in, was in on the pass defense.
Yeah, they bring Kearns on a quarterback blitz in an empty situation. That tells you the confidence that Coach Nix has in his group.
Cassius Kearns had 2 interceptions and a fumble recovery. He was the UAC Defensive Player of the Week for his exploits at cornerback. So at third down, about 6 or 7 to go. And Brown facing a 4-man rush. He's flushed. Brown, sidearm fling. It's complete, and it's going to depend on the spot, but it looks like it should be a first down on the throw to Makai Norris out of Greenville, Mississippi.
It's a great job by Joshua Brown getting out of the pocket and then finding his wide receiver for the first down. He was under a ton of pressure, and they're going back to this empty set.
The offensive coordinator is Samuel Parker, Mississippi Valley State. Completely new coaching staff under Buckley. A quarterback run all the way, and Dabari Hawkins is in there to bring down Joshua Brown. Forward progress stopped for a loss of 3 back to the 8-yard line.
Yeah, the 6'4", 195-pound senior was not fooled. Hawkins, he's eyeing Brown the whole way. And again, going with that empty set, they don't have any concern at all about anybody else coming out of the backfield. That's great pressure and eyes on the quarterback.
And that puts Mississippi Valley State behind the chains. 2nd down and 13 on their opening drive of the game. And again, keeping it in the hands of Brown on the zone read. Fake the handoff to Webster. And back to the line of scrimmage. That is it. First contact made by Brandon Tolbert, a returning first-team All-UAC defensive lineman.
Yeah, getting pressure right now up front with just 4. And I tell you, the zone read did not work at all versus these guys in purple. And I love being the new purple unis.
Purple on purple here in Stephenville. Motion by Naquan Webster. 4 receivers left. Brown fires up the right sideline looking for his man, and it's incomplete. Makai Norris had to adjust the body at the 40-yard line, but great coverage for Dabari Hawkins. Stride for stride, it's 4th down.
I tell you what, I love this coverage right here by Hawkins. He is just playing everything to the boundary. And again, at 6'4", 195 pounds, he is just making sure that he gets body into the wide receiver, that contact. He understands that he's not far. Great placement there by the DB.
And the punter will be Marco Dubac for Mississippi Valley State. The Delta Devils punter has a go off the side of his foot. And so bad field position for Mississippi Valley State turns into excellent field position for Tarleton on their first home drive of 2025. They'll start at the 22-yard line after a punt that only manages 14.
Almost impossible to judge where that ball is coming down for the official. But I think they get the spot correct.
Well, there's Victor Gabalis, 3rd-year starter here in Stephenville. What do you like about big number 11?
No, I just love right now, man, his ball placement. He's not turning it over, and he is staying balanced on offense. That running game is really supporting him and making his job so much easier.
Too tight on first down. Gabalis on play action, going for the end zone and incomplete. Trying to fight back for it, Cody Jackson. But good defense, 1v1 along the sideline by Xavier Kennedy.
You know, and you saw right there, Victor Gabalis, the placement on that ball on the outside. He's trying to get back shoulder to Jackson. He just couldn't make an adjustment. That was a good read by the defensive back.
Correction, Prince Ijeoma from Little Elm in Texas, about 2 hours away. And a pop pass out in front to Trey Page, and Page is hunted down and brought down by Adonis Edwards Jackson. The transfer from Southern Oregon makes the TFL, and a big loss at that, a 7-yard minus back to the 29.
Yeah, you're looking at a guy right there in Adonis Jackson. got penetration, and Trey Page is trying to just get to the outside. He had all kinds of room, but the party was spoiled by number 0.
So Tarleton goes 4 wide receivers, taking the tight end out because it's 3rd down and long. 3rd down 17. Delta Devils showing some pressure. Instead, they'll bring 4. So it's Gabala stepping up in the pocket, firing it deep, and it is incomplete, but a flag is down. Arlo Henderson Jr. may be guilty of targeting here against Cody Jackson.
I'm interested to see what this call is because Gabala is trying to put that one in a honey hole. So he rifled that in, and the DB
personal foul, targeting, defense, number 2. This play is under further review.
Of course, the targeting call on Arlo Henderson Jr. automatically is going to trigger the review. We'll get a chance to see, along with the officials, whether or not Arlo Henderson Jr. will be able to stay in this game.
Yeah, I'm interested to see the replay on this because, again, it looked like to me, Arlo Henderson, it was a bang-bang, both of these guys, at the ball being delivered, trying to make a play on it.
Our replay official, by the way, is Lyndon Jacobson. He will be reviewing it up here in the booth and relaying what he sees down to John Kellermeyer, a referee for this UAC3. Gorgeous day here in Stephenville. Here's a look.
And that, you know, I've seen plenty of egregious targeting calls. That was one where he got more shoulder than anything. If he was going for a shot helmet to helmet. But hey, this is one of those calls that they are trying to protect a defenseless player. It's going to be interesting to see how they call this.
We've seen over the last few years, Henry, that the officials err on the side of calling the targeting play because they know that they can go to the replay booth and get it right if it doesn't end up being targeted.
Yes.
In which case, there would be no flag. Henderson would stay in the game. It would be 4th down.
Yeah, so for the Texans, this is a big call. Do you send your offense back out there, or do you go for the field goal?
Well, it would be a long field goal. Line of scrimmage was the 29, so we're looking at about a 46-yard attempt for the new kicker, Brad Larson, who was the UAC Special Teams Player of the Week and the hero hit the game winner in 2 overtimes at Army from 37 yards out. We'd see if Larson has that type of leg to knock it down from 46.
Yeah, and Larson we trust around here in Stephenville. He came up clutch for his team.
Man, you think?
Yeah, he did.
Hitting not 1 field goal in OT, but 2 field goals in OT, including the winner. Here's the review.
After review, the ruling on the field is upheld. Number 2 is disqualified. Penalties half the distance to the goal line, automatic 1st down.
And just a terribly tough break for Arlo Henderson Jr. And a lot of times the targeting isn't necessarily that the young man's trying to do something malicious, but still against the rules in this case, and he has been disqualified.
Again, you're trying to fit that into a spot, and you know, safety, just playing safety in college anywhere, man. It's just the question is, how do you make a tackle? But nonetheless, Arlo has been disqualified from this game.
And you saw Cody Jackson go down to the ground and have trouble getting up. He's not back in the game. After the 15-yard penalty moves the chains down to the 14-yard line, and it's a handoff on 1st down to Caleb Lewis, and he is stuck in the backfield. What a tackle coming from his safety spot. Dakarai Cable, the graduate transfer from Robert Morris with the TFL.
Yeah, Cable out of Dillard High School in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And if you know anything about Dillard High School, they produce some athletes.
On play action, Cabales on 2nd down. Lobs it into the end zone. High point attempt for Reginald Harden, who goes at 6'5", but he can't drag it in. Again, the Texas kid, Prince Ijeoma, with some great coverage in the corner.
Yeah, and you're trying, for Victor Gabales, he's trying to just put that in a spot where his 6'5" receiver can go up high pointed and head tap.
And Right now, Harden is in there in place of Cody Jackson at that right outside wide receiver spot after Jackson took the shot on the targeting call. So that leaves a 3rd down 13. Back at the 17-yard line, Cabales all day, wide open, catch for the touchdown by Bryce Parker. He got lost in the combo route. It's a 17-yard hookup, and Tarleton strikes first.
Bryce Parker had to have felt like he was open for an eternity, and the ball was in the air just as long, because that's about how long he was open. Great play design, but it completely fools this Mississippi Valley State defense. Bryce Parker, man by himself.
And on for the extra point. Last week's hero, Brad Larson, to complete it. He had the 3 field goals, including the game winner last week, and Tarleton State strikes first in Stephenville. Victor Cabales hits Bryce Parker for 6. Of 3rd down conversions. One, they were able to convert on a targeting penalty. Second one on a touchdown toss between Victor Cabales and Bryce Parker. Let's get another look. Bryce Parker was the leading receiver for Utah Tech a season ago, and his first catch in a Texan uniform is in pay dirt.
Yeah, he starts off on the slot position, and again, as soon as he gets to that corner route, man, nothing they can do about it. They lose track of Bryce Parker. Man, you better try and keep an eye on this young man. He is streaky fast.
Prince Ijeoma passed him on to Cable, the safety, and Cable did not know he was on the way. So for Tarleton State, they're up 7-0. Tarleton 12-3 in home openers under head coach Todd Whitten in his 3rd stint as head coach of the program. Fair catch is made by Caleb Brownlow. A chance to start at the 25-yard line for Mississippi Valley.
You think he learned from his last mistake? Taking it out of the goal line and falling at the 1-yard line?
That was pretty rough, just the way that happened. So you take a look at Mississippi Valley State, and you've got in the white head coach Terrell Buckley. 50 interceptions in the NFL over 14 seasons. One of his assistants is Mario Edwards as well, the former Mario Edwards, the former Dallas Cowboys defensive back, and now his son plays defensive tackle for the Texans, Mario Edwards Jr. 1st and 10 for Mississippi Valley State from their own 25-yard line. And the inside handoff, there is just nothing there in that purple swarm, but a flag comes down after Joe Williams is thrown down on the play, and it may be on Devin Sterling.
Yeah, maybe a little too aggressive there on that tackle.
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense, number 10. 15-yard penalty from the dead ball spot, automatic first down.
They give it to Josh Griffiths, big country. That draws the Boo Birds here in Stephenville, a terrific crowd turning out on a gorgeous 77-degree day.
I mean, you got to ask yourself, are you still in Texas when it's September and it's not 95 degrees?
Josh Griffiths playing through the whistle and a little bit more. I know, we were living right, getting that cold front at the perfect time. Handoff to Williams on 1st down, but he never cuts it up. And he is taken out by Stephen Woods Jr. from the strong side linebacker spot. The transfer from Angelo State with the tackle, a loss of 5.
Hey, John, this ain't nothing but a pursuit drill for your defense. They read ball, go hit ball. And you see all 11 in purple turning towards the running back.
2nd and 15 after the Williams loss. Joshua Brown at quarterback. Fires it middle and through the hands of Joe Williams, the running back, right on the hash. Leaves a 3rd down and long for the Delta Devils.
And Joshua Brown, he had plenty of time. He was sitting back there trying to read it, waiting on the receiver to come open, but throwing at the last minute looked like his hand was hit on that, and the ball comes out a little bit short.
Mississippi Valley State trying to pick up a 3rd down and long. Motion by Carrick Ross to the top of your screen. We'll check with the sideline instead. Joshua Brown, first year at Mississippi Valley State. Goes play action. A lot of pressure in his face, but gets rid of it. Cut back at the 40 for Caleb Brownlow, the freshman. But he's not going to turn up enough for the 1st down. He picks up 8. He needed 15. It's 4th down.
And in that situation, Brownlow, once he gets the ball in his hands, this Texans defense is just waiting on him. And 3rd and forever, these guys are just going to play everything to the sticks. And Tyrone Nix has got to be really proud of his defense, other than that personal foul penalty that gave Mississippi Valley a 1st down.
Another punting opportunity for Marco Dubac. His first kick was only 14 yards. No pressure here. And angling this one away from Caleb Lewis. It's caught on the sideline by Tarleton backup offensive lineman Ritger Conley. Tarleton up 7-0 on Mississippi Valley State in Stephenville. special cornerbacks on the side of Mississippi Valley State as they look to resurrect this program. One, Mario Edwards, actually a high school football coach here in Texas in the last few years. And, of course, Terrell Buckley, a longtime assistant in the SEC. And I don't know, can he have some of the success like Deion Sanders, another Florida State cornerback, had with another SWAC team in Jackson State, and get things going at Mississippi Valley?
And it's so weird that you make the parallel between those two, because that is really Florida State royalty, those two cornerbacks. And Terrell Buckley, man, absolutely one of the best college cornerbacks ever.
Jim Thorpe Award winner in his third season, and turned pro after that, was a first-round pick, had 50 interceptions in his career. Trey Page goes for 4. I don't think enough people recognize how good Terrell Buckley was in the pros.
No, Gen X does. It's the recency bias of what's going on.
And older millennials, if I can speak for myself real quick. After the 4-yard pickup, another look to Trey Page, who has been a star early this season for Tarleton. And young man bangs his way for about 3 to the 41-yard line. So Page had 170 yards and 2 touchdowns and was the UAC Offensive Player of the Week in the opener at Portland State. Followed up with another 89 and a score last week. Like you said, I mean, evidently running backs just grow on trees here in Stephenville.
Yes, they do, and they got another good one in Trey Page. He is electric, man.
On 3rd down and 4, Cabales gets rid of it, but great pressure at the right time from Khalil Hunter. That ball is short-armed in the direction of Trey Page, the 3rd. It's 4th down.
Hey, they are dialing up some pressure over here now. You see Page, he comes right through the teeth of that offensive line. Got to make some adjustments here, get some protection for Victor Cabales.
So you see Mario Edwards there, defensive backs coach for Mississippi Valley State, helping to dial up that blitz on 3rd down. On to punt, Charlie Mullen for Tarleton. Mullen gets a nice one off and unable to bring it in cleanly, the return man, Cameron Nelson, but Nelson fumbles it out of bounds at the 22, and that's where Mississippi Valley State will start with it.
Yeah, it does go out of bounds after he fumbled it a bit there. But a great job, and hopefully now Mississippi Valley may be able to get some of their nerves out. This is a environment to be in here in Stephenville. Yeah. Let's try and make something happen.
It's tough to do against these Tarleton Impact players, though. You got Cassius Kearns, Ty Rawls, and so many players that Josh Brown has to face on this Tarleton team.
Mainly number 6, Ty Rawls.
Rawls at that boundary safety position. And a new quarterback on the 3rd drive, just like he did last week. Brandon Nunez is out there. Nunez dumping it off over the middle. And picking up 6 yards to a slot receiver in Shade Schaefer.
Well, I'll tell you what, that was a medicine ball from Nunez on the slant. God, he threw that one right into traffic.
Nunez getting a little time last week, 2 for 8, about every 3rd series or so. Nunez also has the ability to run with the football, but more of a straight-ahead type guy. He crashes ahead, eliminated by Jaden Aubert, the defensive back. 2-yard gain, leaves a 3rd down 2. Nunez, big body, 6'5", 235. Last year he was at New Mexico State in Las Cruces. Before that, Fullerton College, where he was a 2-year starter. And had a really nice year in 2023 at Fullerton. Stoppage before this 3rd down play. They take a look at it, ends up there's no penalty. But Nunez ran for 9 touchdowns, passed for another 22 at his junior college, Fullerton, back in 2023. He's here at Mississippi Valley State to try to give Joshua Brown some pressure. Here's 3rd down. Nunez leaking out of the backfield, drops it in the bucket for Joe Williams. Williams in a foot race down the sideline. Williams, can he stay in bounds? No! all the way down to the 6-yard line. But he totes it for 64 on the catch and run.
What an incredible play call that was. You get Nix's group trying to bring pressure, and you get the running back out of the backfield in the flat, and it is just a foot race, as you stated. Man, a great saving touchdown tackle. That's all heart and hustle.
Jaden Aubert chasing him down from behind, but it was Aubert that slipped, trying to stay with the running back, Joe Williams, coming out of the backfield. And it's first down and goal for Mississippi Valley State. Now, Tarleton's defense has been great in the red zone this year, only giving up 1 touchdown in 6 drives. It's first and goal, well, at the 11 now.
I'm going to bring that back a little bit. Add a little dimension of pressure to this situation.
Ball start. Everybody but the center. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Ah, yes. The old everybody but the center bit.
Everybody but the guy that's supposed to snap the ball. I like it.
All new starters along the offensive line this season for Mississippi Valley State. Expect a few false starts this early in the season. First and goal from the 11. And again, more motion. I think the left side wide receiver moved first. That was E.J. Luckett.
False start. Offense, number 86. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Correction, they get it on Caleb Brownlow, but back-to-back false starts. Maybe it's the crowd.
Yeah, mix in a little bit of good, well, a lot of bad, and you turn ball on the 6. Now a lot farther back.
So back to the 16 for the first and goal for Nunez and company. Tarleton brings 4. Nunez steps up, rips away from pressure. Nunez, the big-bodied quarterback, banging his way down to the 9-yard line. It is a 7-yard a punishing gallop for Brandon Nunez.
Yes, it was. And at 6'5", 235 pounds, boy, I tell you, he was taking a bunch of hits, but he is keeping his head north and south, trying to turn this into something.
Bonnie Melidor eventually bringing him down. Now Joshua Brown is back in the game at quarterback for second and goal at the 9. Brown firing middle into traffic, and it's incomplete. Intended right down the heart of the defense for E.J. Luckett. It's third down.
Man, you talk about putting the ball in harm's way. That's exactly what Joshua Brown just tried to do, to put that in between 4 and 5 Texans defenders. He is lucky that he got that one back.
So third and goal at the 9. Motion for Norris. Brown pops it out for Norris, loses the football. It's on the ground. It's a catch. It's a fumble. It's a Tarleton recovery at the 13.
Makai Norris has this ball out in the flat, and he is concentrating on making the first man miss, but he did not secure the ball. Missed the tackle, but you affect that, bring that ball out of his hands, and what a costly fumble right there for Mississippi Valley.
And they will put it under review, but Devin Sterling, who has played 6 seasons here in Stephenville, had never had an interception, a fumble forced, or a fumble recovery. Finally hops on top of one for Tarleton. And they'll review it to make sure it was indeed a catch and a fumble for Makai Norris.
And here's the thing, it was really bang, bang, but that clearly looked like a catch to me.
You can say, did he make a football move? But he did establish possession and kind of planted the feet right there where somebody had put a hit on him.
And that's really the only question, is did he make a football move? Because the defender was in his face immediately. You see the replay here, catch made. He's trying to jump cut.
It's a really nice job flying by. And looks like it was Omar Emmons. And Emmons, who played at Mississippi Valley State for a few years and even came here with Mississippi Valley State in 2022 to play against Tarleton. Now his third year on the Tarleton sideline, and appears to have forced a fumble against his former team.
Well, his relatives in Greenwood, Mississippi, they just kicked over something. What are you doing? A former Mississippi Valley player greeting some of his old teammates here.
Another look of Omar Emmons.
That is a great job. Again, missed the tackle, but keeping those arms active and knocking the ball away.
Like you said, the only question is whether or not it was a catch. Certainly seems like it's going to be.
Yeah, it absolutely did. Because you see he's trying to make a jump cut as soon as he sees the contact.
Tarleton offense is out there. They're pretty convinced.
After review, the ruling on the field is upheld. Catch and a fumble. First down, Tarleton State.
Comes up. Tarleton gets it back, and it's a big sigh of relief for Tyrone Nix's defense after giving up the big 64-yard play.
Yeah, but one of the great things about Coach Nix's defense is what they're doing, turning the ball over. And, man, that is contagious. And defenses, really good defenses, they live for those turnovers.
8 turnovers forced already this season for Tarleton. They continue to be opportunistic. On first down, the long zone read going deep up the sideline. What a grab by Trayvon West over the shoulder on a perfect throw from Victor Gabalis to the 42 in Mississippi Valley State territory.
And calling Mr. West in between two defenders. How about the air on that ball from Victor Gabalis? He couldn't have threw that any more perfect. He just walked it out there and handed it to him.
45 yards, most of it in the air. Handoff to Trey Page. Flipped heaven over heels by Jamari Stokes.
Wow.
But let's go back and take a look at this 45-yarder, Heckman.
Now, you asked me what I thought about Victor Gabalis, and, man, for the years that I've been calling Tarleton State games, I have seen nothing but this guy improve year over year. But the best thing is placement and touch.
You like it over the outside shoulder when there's a safety there, right?
Yeah, absolutely you do. But I tell you what, man, that was perfect.
Yeah. 4-yard pickup at 2nd and 6. Gabalis looks off and then comes down to Trey Page III, trying to take it down the sideline. He's back to the line of scrimmage. That is all. Sandwiching hit. Jalen Wright, the inside linebacker, races out there. The transfer from NAIA Avila University, where he had 86 tackles a season ago. Well, it's 3rd down for Tarleton State.
Great thing about that, and you see from Gabalis, he is so much better with his eyes. He sees the linebacker out in the flat, but then looks him off and comes right back to it.
His numbers over the last 7 games are just ridiculous. As Gabalis goes back to the air, and what a bead right into the hands of Trayvon West for a first down to the 28. Made it look easy, a gain of 9.
I'll tell you what, this kid Trayvon West, they got him listed at 6 foot, 175 pounds. But man, he got something in the tank, man.
Former 3-star receiver out of Lamar High School in the Arlington ISD. Gabalis on play action, puts it up in the air, looking for it all. Juggling grab not made by Reginald Harden, trying to hang on. But again, Prince Ijeoma able to dislodge it, 2nd down.
That would have been highlight material if he had came down with that one. So perfect right there, but not able to bring that ball in for Harden.
First extended playing time for Harden, playing in place of Cody Jackson, who is out of this game with an upper body injury. This transfer from Arkansas State, showing off his 6'5" frame. 2nd and 10 from the 28. Gabalis offers it to Page, sees some room on the backside. And Page trying to leap into the 2nd level. Picks up 5 down to the 23. It's Khalil Hunter on the stop. 3rd down 5. But Heckma, what I was going to say about Victor Gabalis is, coming into the season, the coaches were like, hey, you got to hang on to the football. It's really big. You've had at least 11 interceptions each of the last 2 years, but Victor Caballas hasn't turned the ball over in 6 of his last 7 games, and his touchdown to interception ratio over that time, 18-3. Ridiculous. It's 3rd and 5, maybe 4 down territory. Bouncing it outside Lewis. Good vision. He's close for the first down, but a flag comes down behind the play. Picks up around 5, but watch the flag.
Holding. Offense. Number 69. 10-yard penalty. 3rd down.
They get Braden Smith, the converted nose guard.
And you see them trying to get downhill in this running game, and they're mowing Mississippi Valley down, with the exception of the holding penalty. But Caleb Lewis just reading his blocks, and I just feel like it won't take long before he breaks one, because you see the penetration this offensive line is getting on these combo blocks. They're chipping and getting up to the next level.
Victor Caballas may have to put it in the air, though, on 3rd and 15 from the 33. Had a touchdown toss to Bryce Parker on the first drive. And movement. No. It's going to be a timeout for Mississippi Valley State, their first of the first half.
This is also a media timeout.
Terrell Buckley's defense trying to hold strong and keep the Texans off the board on this promising drive here in Stephenville.
Some say old-fashioned things like dirt roads, fresh air, wide open spaces are hard to beat. There's just something about country living that's good for the soul. Whether you're leaving the city to find your quiet slice of paradise or growing your range operation, we're here to help. At Clark Real Estate Group, farm and ranch is our passion, and we have the knowledge to help you find your next piece of Texas.
Triple Crown, you know we'll treat you right. Yeah, get on down to the Triple Crown and pick out your right. Got what you need. Come on, get your keys. Yeah, we got the best deal in town, so get on down to the Triple Crown.
Right now at Triple Crown Ford Lincoln, get 3.9% financing for 60 months on a new F-150, or get 0 for 60 on a new Lincoln Navigator.
Well, we got the best deal in town, so get on down to the Triple Crown.
Touchdown! Will they play it safe or make the bold choice and go for 2?
Go for it.
Gotta go for dos. Go for dos. Going for 2. Grab the Dos Equis. They're going for Dos. Dos Equis. Always go for Dos.
John Little, Heckma Harrison, Kendra Sheehan, the whole crew back in Stephenville, just about 45 minutes to the southwest of Fort Worth. I'll tell you, this Mississippi Valley State defense, they've made some plays early on against one of the best offenses in FCS.
What I think I love more than anything, that Coach Edwards, he's bringing pressure from a lot of different angles. Right now, their safeties on this big-time 3rd down, you see that they're backed up. They're playing everything to the sticks, just trying to make sure that they hold these Texans, keep them out of the end zone here, because I just feel like, offensively, the Texans should be up big. But boy, they hadn't been as sharp as you would like here in the first quarter.
Delta Devils fell at home to Southern University last week. Good back and forth game. They had a couple leads in that one, ended up falling by a single score. 3rd and 15 for Tarleton at the 33. And Victor Caballas to put it in the air. Steps up, under pressure. Flag is down. Caleb Lewis well shy of the first down as he picks up 7, but that flag thrown in the area of holding.
Yeah, I think you may have another holding penalty. This Devil squad, boy, they are mixing it up down in the trenches.
This is an interesting one. Do you
Holding.
take it or do you not?
Offense, number 68. That penalty's declined. It's 4th down.
Yeah, they declined it. That's an easy call. Force them to go for it here on 4th down. Coach Whitten is leaving his offense out there.
He certainly is. See the holding penalty right there in the middle of the field. Looks like it went on the center, Jordan Love. Tarleton will end up bringing the special teams unit on, and we'll have a chance to see Brad Larson. You know, Brad Larson, a new name to a lot of college football fans, but for those who were fans of his in deep southwest Texas at Angelo State, like, no, we know he does this all the time. Although he didn't get all of this one. It looked like the field goal attempt of 42 was a little bit rushed, and it comes in shallow. No good.
That's exactly what happened. Rushed, and Larson slips. There at the last minute, couldn't get stationary, get into the kick. Hope he's okay. He's limp, just a little slight limp after that.
And Brad Larson ended up working his way into the starting kicker position thanks to an injury to Corbin Poston. Poston wasn't available last week, and Larson steps up and delivers big time. But that 43-yarder is off the mark. And Mississippi Valley State hanging right with Tarleton late in the first quarter. Brandon Nunez to start his second straight possession, had a wide open receiver but throws it behind the running back Williams at the 35.
Yeah, forced that throw, and I tell you, they found something trying to fit that ball in between the zone. But you said it, partner. Brandon Nunez, he just rushed that throw behind his receiver, Joe Williams.
Nunez, a little bit of trouble with the accuracy last week, 2 of 8. But he already is hooked up with Williams for a 64-yarder in this first quarter. On 2nd and 10, empty set. Another throw over the middle, incomplete again for Brownlow and nearly intercepted by Bam Smith on the backside. Plus Sterling was there to dislodge it. It's 3rd down.
Whew. This Devin Sterling, boy, he is bringing some pain out here.
All right, so Devin Sterling goes 235. Caleb Brownlow, he's listed at 161, Heckma.
Yeah, that's a matter of physics, right? Man, you're going to lose that battle every time. I tell you, Nunez, he's throwing a couple of medicine balls out here.
3rd down, 10. Williams comes into the backfield. Nunez loses it. And a scramble for it. I don't think he got back on top of it. It looks like Tarleton has recovered. And the Texans take over.
First down, Tarleton State.
At the bottom of that pile, James Turrentine, the transfer from Colorado State Pueblo.
Turrentine, 6'1", 305, but Nunez, ball just slips out of his hand. You know, we're talking about it not being a hot day, and still, that ball slips right out of his hands.
We had some rain this morning, and I don't know if maybe this field, you know, it's holding some moisture. But, yeah, Brandon Nunez, ball slips out of his hands. We've seen slips on both sides on special teams plays. And Tarleton picking up their 2nd turnover, both fumble recoveries, their 9th of the year. And on the doorstep in the red zone on 1st down and 10. Gabalis facing a 5-man rush. Another holding call. Great catch by Caleb Lewis. But this romp inside the 10 may be all for naught, as the offensive line for Tarleton is having a tough time against this Mississippi Valley State defensive line.
Yes, they are. And
personal foul, face mask, defense, number 58.
Well, I say that.
Penalties
in
have to
fact,
distance
this
to goal
time,
line.
the
First down.
aggressor, that's one of the Delta Devils.
face mask penalty just adding on to a incredible catch.
So that happened in an area where you would normally see offensive holding. But one of the defensive linemen for Mississippi Valley State got the hand up around the face mask. Another half the distance to the goal after the catch and run by Caleb Lewis, and it's 1st and goal from the 5.
Yeah, great patience here by Victor Gabalis. Let's see if he can clock this one in.
Gabalis, the 3-year starter, gives it off to Lewis. Speaking of patience, he doesn't have much, but he's able to fire his body forward for 2. Hey, let's see if we can find this face mask call. So this is the previous play, Heckman.
Yeah, you see him coming off the ball right here. Maybe they get this on, well, just, yeah, hands to the face. Didn't look like anything.
Back to live action. Another give to Lewis. Disappears into the pile. Again, no gain. Leave it 3rd down and goal from the 3.
Tell you what, they're clogging it up down low. Number 58, D'Angelo Shepard. He goes 6'1", 300 pounds.
Transfer from Shaw University, making it tough inside. Delta Devils trying to get big on 3rd down and goal. Maybe 4-down territory for Gabalis and company. There's some movement on the hard count. We'll see who is the aggressor.
I think they got big Hunter Smith. Let's see who they call it on, but Hunter came across.
Hunter Smith is the All-American.
Ball start. Offense, number 60, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
You're exactly right. Hunter Smith out of Rockwall, Texas, just east of Dallas. A preseason All-American at left guard. Cost his team 5 yards. It'll be 3rd and goal from the 8.
You got to make sure you say Rockwall Heath. You got to put the Heath on there. As a Rockwall community, they fight for that.
So, from Rockwall Heath, Hunter Smith, a Heath Hawk, normally doing some really good things for the Tarleton State Texans. And Tarleton State, in their first game at home this season, the 2-0 Texans wrapping up Mississippi Valley State and leading 7-0 after 1.
to Memorial Stadium. Texans up 7-0, and their quarterback, hailing from the state of Washington in Victor Gabales, found his way to West Texas about 3 years ago, and he told me what's been the most special part of his journey here is the fan base in Texas Nation. He says he's been blown away by how supportive they are, and I'll give this back up to you, John, because we do have a touchdown. You guys can come back.
And they are going to call it a touchdown. You're exactly right, Kendra. And you can call a touchdown any time you want, Miss Sheehan. I'm not going to take that away from you, but it's Caleb Lewis flipping his way into the end zone from 5 yards out to put Tarleton up 13-0.
What patience, though, by Caleb Lewis. He's running right at a defender and just shakes him out of his spat back inside for the touchdown. This is how you wanted to start that first quarter. They're getting into it. They're scoring ways to start things off here in the second quarter.
They may take a look at the spot. Not terribly surprising, as Caleb Lewis went down right at the goal line with the ball very near the goal line, but depending on the look we have, we'll see what our replay official Lyndon Jacobson thinks about this end of this nice patient run. But while we take a look at the replay, let's go back to Kendra Sheehan with a little bit more on Victor Gabales.
Yeah, thanks, John. An exciting play there for the Texans. But their quarterback, Victor Gabales, coming from Washington, said the best part about coming to Texan Nation is the fan base. He said he was blown away by the way that the community embraced him. And he said it continues to blow his mind year after year, the way that this community full of students has just embraced an outsider. And head coach Todd Whitten highlighted his accomplishments, saying that Gabales just continues to get better and better. He literally has not turned the ball over this year, and he always finishes with, "We're glad he's on our team." John?
Thanks so much, Kendra. And Heckma, I tell you, he makes me, I don't think I look good in a mustache, but Victor Gabales makes me want to grow a nice, thick mustache just so I can look that cool.
Yeah, that thing is nasty, boy.
Oh, man.
He's got to get a nickname for that one.
That's a firefighter's mustache.
I'm sure the
there.
team has a name for it.
After review, the ruling on the field is upheld. Touchdown.
It is a touchdown for Caleb Lewis. It's his third on the ground this season in as many games. And I must ask you to give us your thoughts again on that Caleb Lewis touchdown.
Now, I was talking about the patience and the way that he kept that back up. You know, you look at him and Trey Page, they have some of the similar characteristics. A lot of time when you have a running back by committee, there's one guy's a power guy, another guy's maybe the more elusive one. Both of the
boys that they've got their chaps kind of hanging there above their bed all year, and they can't wait for Texan football. But while they can't wear them, they're just staring at them night after night, tears streaming down their face, Heckma, thinking, when does football start so I can get back in my chaps and cheer for my Texans?
Wait a minute, John.
What?
So that they're crying?
Because they can't wear their chaps. Heckman doesn't agree, but I'd like to believe.
No, the visual. I got the visual, so I'm walking through that with you. And if that's the case, Plowboys, get out more, okay? It's football season, guys. It's finally made it. You get plenty of opportunity to pick up those chaps.
Yeah, the first of 6 home games for Tarleton. Tarleton State 2-0 on the year. Fair catch again by the freshman, electric freshman, I should say, Caleb Brownlow, who had a 53-yard reception for a touchdown for Mississippi Valley State a week ago. And another chance for this offense. Right now, the difference, Heckma, is the turnovers. A couple turnovers for the Delta Devils. Tarleton has turned it into 14 points. There have been times that Mississippi Valley has moved the ball.
Yeah, and really, right now, it just looked like it's all self-inflicted from the beginning of this game for Mississippi Valley. Look, the ball just comes right off of the hand of your quarterback. No pressure, no nothing, and you just got to be saying, like, man, is there a black cat in our locker room right now? Because what can't go wrong is going wrong.
I'm not superstitious, But I am just a little stitious. As Josh Brown climbs the pocket, escapes, slides down. Got to stay away from him after he gave himself up. A 4-yard gain for Josh Brown, who led the team in rushing a week ago, averaging more than 7 yards a pop.
I've been one of those guys my entire career and said I felt like if you got 2 quarterbacks, you got no quarterback. Allow Josh Brown to warm up and you know, at least get into this game for you. He's made some good throws and obviously made some good runs.
There's another good throw, zipping it on the money over the middle. Christian White near Tarleton territory, but picking up a first down on a gain of 18 out to the 47.
Well, that's a big old target right there, and Christian White is 6'5", 180.
Had a touchdown catch last week. Hurry up offense, up the sideline, man behind the D. It is dropped in the bucket to Mekhi Norris, sliding down to the 7-yard line. That is a 45-yard hookup. Joshua Brown, what a throw.
Yeah, that is a great throw. He evading pressure, getting to the outside and staying locked on to his running back, to his wide receiver, and putting that one right in the bucket.
First and goal at the 8. Handoff. Goes to Norman Taylor, the freshman running back. Finds a few down to the 6-yard line. Second down and goal for Mississippi Valley State. They were in the red zone earlier this quarter, but fumbled it away, or late last quarter, I should say. Now early in the second, a must-have points-wise for the Delta Devils.
The last time they got close, they had procedure penalties. A lot of different things went wrong.
The back is Williams. Instead, keeping it himself. Brown slipping through tackles before he's banged down at the 2-yard line. Running into a purple wall of defenders, including Avian Rice, the free safety.
Avian Rice listed at 6 foot 200 pounds, and he got bricks on those shoulder pads.
Picks up half of what he needed for the score. It's down to the 3. Third and goal for Brown in the offense. Oh, and the pressure from the outside. Great job by Ty Rawls, the boundary safety, on the blitz, right in the face of Brown to knock it away. Otherwise, it was 6.
Nobody better than this guy, Ty Rawls. His interceptions, but also he is just as good as they come in run defense. And you see right there, man, just instinctive to get up and knock that ball down.
He had his name in the portal, decided to come back to Stephenville, helped lead this team to a 2-0 start, had 2 interceptions in that Week 0 win at Portland State. A chance for Marco Jovicic. A short port shot, it's good for Jovicic. 19-yard make. Mississippi Valley State is on the board for the first time tonight in Texas. Tarleton State up 14-3 in the second ever matchup with the Delta Devils.
Some say old-fashioned things like dirt roads, fresh air, wide open spaces are hard to beat. There's just something about country living that's good for the soul. Whether you're leaving the city to find your quiet slice of paradise or growing your ranch operation, we're here to help. At Clark Real Estate Group, farm and ranch is our passion, and we have the knowledge to help you find your next piece of Texas.
Triple Crown, you know we'll treat you right. Yeah, get on down to the Triple Crown and pick out your ride. Got what you need, come on, get your keys. Yeah, we got the best deal in town, so get on down to the Triple Crown.
Right now at Triple Crown Ford Lincoln, get 3.9% financing for 60 months on a new F-150 or get 0 for 60 on a new Lincoln Navigator.
Well, we got the best deal in town, so get on down to the Triple Crown.
Touchdown! Will they play it safe or make the bold choice and go for two?
Go for it. Gotta go for dos. Go for
Going for two. Grab the Dos Equis. They're going for Dos. Dos Equis. Always go for Dos.
They're wobbling in Stephenville with the Tarleton State Texans up on Mississippi Valley State, 14-3. John Little back with Heckma Harrison and Kendra Sheehan. And the man that stopped that drive for Tarleton is Ty Rawls, the guy that decided to come back and play for Tyrone Nix yet again, his third season after getting in the portal, and it seems like he's made the right decision.
Yo, he absolutely has, and I think it's just the culture here in Stephenville at Tarleton. You look at this team, and man, they're not losing guys to other schools. Not only these players, but also their coaches. Most of the guys on this staff, they've been with Coach Witten 4 or 5 years, some of them even longer. So it speaks to what they've built here and moving up to the FBS level. I tell you what, man, slowly and steady, they are building a contender here. And man, ask Army about what's being built around here.
No, they got everybody's attention. They're the Stats Perform FCS National Team of the Week after the win at Michie Stadium. Such a tough place to play in front of 23,000 fans out there. So many of them cadets who have served our country so bravely or will. And just in front of that atmosphere to pick up that win. What a night for Tarleton. And we have continued it in coming home to Stephenville tonight. Visic's kickoff over the head of D'Angelo Rosemont and into the end zone for the touchback. So a chance for the Tarleton offense, which has been at times unsteady, but a couple of short porch touchdowns in this one for Tarleton. Let's go down to Kendra Sheehan with a little bit more on Mississippi Valley State's main kicker, Marco Jovicic.
Yeah, the hardest moment for Mississippi Valley State kicker Marco Jovicic was moving to Serbia, from Serbia to the U.S. at the age of 15 without knowing a word of English. He said he had to completely rebuild his life. New culture, new language, new expectations. He said it took every ounce of mental toughness and physical discipline that he had. But he said that experience shaped him. It gave him a level of resilience and focus that he brings to every kick, every rep, and every moment under pressure. John?
Outstanding. Thank you so much. As you see Trey Page III back in there. Can you imagine moving to a new country, 15, not knowing the language, and then trying to, make your way, getting a great education, while making pressure kicks as well? That's good stuff.
No, that is a wonderful story, and man, great job there by Kendra.
Good to see Trey Page III back in for Tarleton, and on the slant route off play action, Trayvon West. It just sticks right to him, out to the 40-yard line, 12-yard gain and a first down.
Yeah, I keep saying it, man. You saw a couple times on some long throws to Trayvon West, and that's a ball that's kind of low at his knees, but still, man, Velcro hands there for Mr. West.
West with his third catch, including a 45-yarder earlier. First down. And again, staring left, it's West trying to twist away from defenders. He picks up another 12 and another first down to the 48 in Delta Devil territory.
Yeah, that's, again, they just ride the hot hand in this matchup over here. They better try and get somebody to get into close quarters right now with Trayvon West. He is winning off the ball.
Victor Caballas, meanwhile, over 100 yards passing, and West up to 66 on 4 receptions in this one. Caballas going back to the air all day, deep to the post, has a man caught. Touchdown, Marquise Willis. His first catch in a Tarleton uniform is a 48-yard score, and the Texans take no time at all to go 75 yards.
And we're sitting here talking about Trayvon West, and number 7 says, what you talking about, Willis, to that post, and he makes it happen. Great job by this offense, but even better throw by Victor Caballas.
Marquise Willis, a multi-talented guy who played wide receiver, quarterback, and running back at Coahoma Community College. Second year here in Stephenville, getting on the field and getting on the scoreboard. Victor Gaballer going up top and finding gold at the end of that rainbow. I kind of like it.
You kind of like that one? Either way.
Just call him the captain.
All I'm saying is the touch that he is coming in, like the touch on the ball, but right there on that post, on the money. And if you're a receiver for Tarleton, you're just thanking God that he is your quarterback because he is unloading that ball.
Fair catch made. And you've got Victor Gaballer, who had all the physical tools when coming in from Utah Tech. But more than that, he's such a more calm quarterback, a quarterback that makes the right decisions and maybe most importantly doesn't make the wrong decisions now in his third year as the starter.
Yeah, turnover is very important, obviously. But here's the deal. And when your quarterback who's touching the ball every down is the one that's putting you guys behind the 8-ball, man, that just makes everything more difficult. But for Victor Gaballer, the ball security, man, he is on point right now and driving this offense.
On the other side, Mississippi Valley State trying to figure it out, and Joshua Brown trying to lead a consistent drive. And on the quarterback draw, this was designed all the way. He picks up 6 into that defense that has only given up 3 and forced a couple turnovers in this first half.
Yeah, let him cook. Let Joshua Brown do his thing.
Brown out to the slot and up the sideline before he runs into Ty Rawls is Carrick Ross. Ross, who is one of the leading receivers on this Delta Devil team the last 2 years. 27 catches in 24, another 32 in 23. Just about 3 yards shy of the first down.
Out of Inabena, Mississippi.
Hometown kid. Big third down. Trying to keep Tarleton's offense off the field, but from the backside, Josh Griffiths makes Joshua Brown pay for pulling back that pump fake. Griffiths has his first sack of the season.
And this is what you call hot pursuit by that young man wearing number 10. Coming off the edge and nowhere for Joshua Brown to go with that one, boy. He had plenty of heat on him. Lucky that he held on to the ball and that wasn't a sack strip fumble.
Yeah, it was pretty heroic for Josh Brown to hang on to that one with 282-pound Josh Griffiths pursuing from behind.
Yeah, this is, I'm telling you, there's nowhere to go with the football, and Joshua Brown is staring down his receiver, not recognizing that he has that heat coming on him. So, I mean, you would like for your offensive lineman to at least yell headache. Something. Goodness gracious. Josh Griffin did a free shot on the quarterback.
Timeout before the punt. And as if school spirit wasn't already a thing here in Stephenville. By the way, they are celebrating record enrollment, more than 21,000 students for the first time ever. You pump a little bit more enthusiasm into that by watching your school beat Army on the road. I mean, this thing's going to go just through the roof this season in Stephenville. Low snap on the punt, but it does get away. And again, it's fired out of bounds. New punter was out there. And it was number 46, Nicholas Stevens, the senior, after a couple poor punts by Marco Duback. And Tarleton will have pretty good field position right at midfield.
Yeah, they're just trying to not punt to Caleb Lewis. Maybe something that they've picked up. So make sure you do not get the ball in his hands on special teams. But it is really good to see Trey Page back in the game. He went out earlier in the first quarter. It looked like it was an ankle But whatever they did, whether they rewrapped him or not, man, good to see him back.
Tarleton, you feel like they're almost on the doorstep again, starting at midfield. Gabalis, good job to pull the ball down. It's one of his favorite dump-off targets, the tight end, Dawson Hearn. But a really tough job to get out of jail there. Dakari Cable was able to pull him down for a loss of 1. Hearn has touchdown catches in each of the first 2 games of the season.
Yeah, great job, though, by Victor Gabalis, recognizing he has the pressure. And number 88 is over there, and he is Hearn basically with a chip block and then releasing out into the flat.
Hearn, the grandson of Ronnie Hearn, the longtime women's basketball coach here at Tarleton. Man in the neutral zone. There's the flag, free play. And Tarleton doesn't pick up much out of it on the swing pass out to Peyton Kramer. But I believe it was a jump into the neutral zone here by Mississippi Valley State.
Offside, defense, number 64, 5-yard penalty, second down.
Yeah, they tagged Tyron Evans, the freshman, with that.
Yeah, 6'2", 295, just not able to get back and get him in the neutral zone, replay, and exactly what Tarleton State needed.
Texans starting to take over midway through the second quarter. There's a second down and 6. Gabalis sends Willis in motion. It's a pop pass out to Willis with a block from Trey Page. Willis, the 225-pounder, out of a tackle and dives near first down yardage, and he has it to the 39-yard line.
All that was the extra effort by Marquise Willis. You see the stiff arm right here and then the dive to get to the sticks.
7-yard pickup. And the injury to Cody Jackson is giving some other guys a chance to show their stuff, including Willis. Off his back foot, the throw in West's direction. It's incomplete. West had to come out of his shoe tops to make that catch. It'll be second down.
A little too far to the boundary right there by Victor Gabalis, trying to keep that ball out of harm's way. We talked earlier about the ball security here by Victor Gabalis, and you see it right there. He's just not going to put that ball any place where the defense can make a play on it.
Gabalis has been in complete control. 150 yards passing and a couple scores. Here comes the blitz. It's picked up. Slant route. West right on him. First down. 10 yards on the hookup. Right down to the 29-yard line.
They quite literally don't have an answer for Trayvon West. And what he is slowly becoming for Victor Gabalis is his go-to on these possession receptions.
Especially with Cody Jackson out. Again, looking left and just tossing it into no man's land is Gabalis. There was a free rusher, Khalil Hunter, in his face. Second down.
Yeah, I think Hunter really did influence the throw right there by Victor Gabalis. He had a few guys open, but didn't have a lot of time to think about which one he was going to go to.
Like it was in the direction of Peyton Kramer. Special connection with Victor Gabalis. They're roommates. Why wouldn't they have a special connection?
I think so. They're talking about it night and day.
I mean, they know how each other smells, so.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Why'd I bring that up?
I don't know.
Gabalis on second down. Off his back foot for West. That jersey tug was evident from this angle. I don't know if they caught it on the field. It's incomplete. Third down.
Well, that was a fair exchange between those two, the receiver and DB. A good no call. As still, Mississippi Valley presenting pressure. Big third down here.
Xavier Kennedy out of Columbus, Ohio, had the man-for-man coverage. Chance to get off the field maybe for Mississippi Valley. It's 3rd and 10. Caleb Lewis is the new running back. Gabalis looking left the whole way. Single coverage that side. Coming back for the football, but short of the first down is Tier Young. A transfer from Lock Haven, a Division II school where he had more than 100 catches in his career. 3 yards shy of the first, 4th and 3. The offense is going to stay out there, but a new quarterback is Daniel Greek comes in for a special package. A couple fullbacks in there as well. Charlie Robinson comes in, along with Danny Joyner. Timeout spent by Tarleton State before this fourth down play.
Yeah, right now, I think, look, going back a few plays, I've been watching this offense, and Victor Cabales, he really does have an option of whoever he wants to throw to. Right now, he's more or less looking over to his left side, but if he just happens to glance over at his right, number 13, Peyton Kramer, is out here routing guys up. The ball hadn't come his way quite yet, but I tell you what, he has been doing a great job out here. You know, it looks like another one of those great possession receivers that Victor Cabales has at his disposal.
Yeah, Kramer, who didn't play a lot last season, as Ben Omayabu was the slot receiver for Tarleton, stepped up in the offseason, had a great spring. Last week, 5 catches at Army. Some big catches to move the chains at Portland State as well. And they go ahead and make a different decision. Tarleton State brings Brad Larson on for a 39-yarder left hash. Larson slipped and fell on his 43-yard attempt earlier. This time the footing is fine, and the kick is as well. So as long as Brad Larson can stay on his pins, he's just fine, thank you. A 39-yarder for last week's hero. And Tarleton State elongates the lead back to 21.
Yeah, and Larson we trust. And as long as he's not slipping around out here on this turf, he can make it happen. Boy, but you ask yourself, how can the Devils answer? Offensively, they haven't gotten anything going here in the second quarter. And they're just trying to find a way to get their quarterback going on that last time out for Mississippi Valley. Joshua Brown got hit in the back. Let's see if he's still feeling the byproduct of that shot he took.
Well, it's a tough place to play. Mississippi Valley State is used to playing in front of big crowds in the SWAC. If you look at the numbers every year, Heckma, the biggest crowds in the nation, some of the biggest crowds are out of the SWAC. Jackson State a lot of times will be one of the ones up there leading the pack. Then you got Montana and Montana State. Well, last season, Tarleton State finished 4th in the FCS in average attendance. They love their football here in Stephenville.
Not only their football, but their basketball, their soccer,
their
volleyball. They show up for everything in Stephenville. It is just community-oriented, and this is the place, and that's why you see that 4,000 that ran out, those freshmen that bring that enrollment number all the way up. Man, this is a great place to go to school.
They put the investment in all the sports and into the new EECU Center, which is in one of the end zones here at Tarleton State as well, and just opened up. In fact, they've got their first big event coming up tomorrow night. And then they got Co Wetzel next week as well, a big country music star who played football here at Tarleton.
It's going to be chaps all around, huh?
Oh, everybody's wearing the chaps. You didn't get the memo?
No.
I got chaps on underneath these dress pants.
Okay, good deal.
Couldn't figure out how to put them on the outside. First down, Antoine Webster backing his way. He's got some powerful offensive linemen and picks up about 8. And that includes, have you noticed number 61 out there? 392-pound freshman, Keyston Walker. That's a big boy.
Yeah, at 392, 6'3", 392. Keyston is not the person that you invite over for Thanksgiving dinner.
You do if you make too much.
Yeah, he'll take care of it for you.
Oh, speaking of taking care of it, Webster thrown backward. Some gang tackling led by Brandon Tolbert, who limps out of the play. Meanwhile, Mississippi Valley State is trying to settle on their quarterback in this matchup, and let's get more on that from Kendra Sheehan.
Yeah, you'll notice that Mississippi Valley State does utilize 2 quarterbacks, and head coach Terrell Buckley told me that they both bring their own unique skill set to the position, which provides good balance and keeps opponents on their toes. I asked him, is it tough to get the continuity with the wide receivers and the rest of the offense with 2 quarterbacks? And he said, not when you train like that day one. Everybody's on the same page. John?
Excellent. Good swing pass out to Webster. He's out to the 42. Would be a first down. But a flag came down at the end of the play. Might see offensive pass interference or perhaps a holding call. Let's see.
There is no foul for offensive pass interference. First down.
No foul for offensive pass interference.
Well, look, the receiver was wide open, and the only person they could have called that on was Cameron Nelson. He was behind the play. I think there's a great no call or picking up the flag for the referees as finally Mississippi Valley State has something going.
And you've called for a little bit of continuity in the offense, maybe give Joshua Brown a little bit more time, and that's paid some dividends here on this drive out to the 42-yard line. New set of downs, 4:20 left in the half. Here comes the blitz. Edmonds was right there at the legs. Throw up the sideline. That's not the place you want to try to put it, into Kern's area. He nearly had the pick. Now, is this flag going to be pass interference on the offense maybe? No, it's going to be on Kearns.
Pass
he can't believe it.
Defense, automatic first down.
Kearns is like, well, wait a second, because Cameron Nelson, he turned into the DB at the end of this play because it absolutely looked like that was going to be a turnover. I don't know how they decided that one, but either way, they're closer to the action than either of us.
Absolutely. And maybe there was something that happened before that exchange. Got to leave open that possibility. But Kearns, who had 2 interceptions last week, has 5 for his career. One of the best cornerbacks in the FCS. Tough guy to throw at. That takes it into Tarleton State territory at the 43, though, and a handoff that both quarterbacks are in the game at the same time, and it fools absolutely nobody on the pitch back to Brandon Nunez. He was taking heat right now from Robert Rios.
Yeah, you see right here, they're coming in motion. They have Nunez, and Tarleton was not fooled by this play at all.
Bam Smith there as well.
It almost looked like they were expecting that play, the way that they read it.
Probably a good place in the field to run something like that, middle of the field, but
another flag.
It might be for too many men. Maybe about 12 Delta Devils out there.
Substitution infraction, offense, 12 players, 5-yard penalty, second down.
Oh, that's one way to get it done. Just bring an extra guy. But look, I have never liked the theory about 2 quarterbacks. And I know Coach Buckley, he's a wily old veteran. He knows better than that. He's trying to sell us something, but I ain't buying it. He's got to get one of his guys in a rhythm and start to get that continuity with his wide receivers and the cadence as well.
Trying to step up and going down hard, Joshua Brown, thanks to the edge pressure. Getting there right now. Yasir Holmes, the edge rusher, the transfer from Frostburg State, where he did work for 4 years, comes up with a huge sack.
Yeah, Mr. Holmes at 6'4", boy, he is putting in work on the outside, and anytime Coach Nix is sending him to put pressure, he is getting home.
So after the big sack, it is 3rd down, 26 to go. Serious work now as Brown wings it down the middle, has a man wide open. Great catch by the freshman tight end, Chauncey Sneed from North Forney High School near Dallas. He picks up 20. He's only a yard shy of the first down. It's 4th and 1.
I think it's a little important to mention that he's 6'7".
6'7".
God, that's a big old target.
He moves like he's 6'2", but he's really 6'7".
Big guy.
Going underneath center, Joshua Brown trying to bang forward. Does he have it? Depends on the spot. Tarleton expecting the quarterback sneak. The spot does not look very good. If it's not touching the 33,
There's a runner short of the line to gain. First down, Tarleton State.
Tarleton ball.
Gosh, what a stop by the Tarleton State defense. But I tell you what, Joshua Brown, you got a big old right guard over there. I get right behind number 61, and that's where he's trying to roll over to. Lakeisha Walker, and that's 61. He reminds me of Nate Newton for doing the Dallas Cowboys.
Maybe that's why he wears 61.
Well, he needs to. That should be the only reason why he wears 61 for the great Nate Newton.
But after Turrentine gets on the bottom of that pile and forces the turnover on downs, Tarleton State takes over with 2 timeouts, 2:45 left in the half, already up by 21, and Victor Cabales at the helm. Oh, into double coverage. What a throw. That is a dime to Peyton Kramer. He has been routing guys all night, you said, Heckma, and that time he routed 2.
I think somebody's listening to us. That's all. I think somebody's listening to us, John, because this young man has been putting in the work down here. The ball just hadn't come his way. Great patience by Mr. Kramer.
That is 26 yards on the comeback. Easy throw and catch to the 30, and then 5 more for Tierre Young. He's down to the 25-yard line, another 15 yards, and as quickly as that, just ahead of the 2-minute timeout, Tarleton is near the red zone.
Yeah, airing it out, boy, great job here as the 2-minute warning approaches.
So Victor Cabales and company picking up about 40 yards of real estate in 45 seconds. And Tarleton coming back home heroes after their big win over Army, up big.
Some say old-fashioned things like dirt roads, fresh air, wide open spaces are hard to beat. There's just something about country living that's good for the soul. Whether you're leaving the city to find your quiet slice of paradise or growing your ranch operation, we're here to help. At Clark Real Estate Group, farm and ranch is our passion, and we have the knowledge to help you find your next piece of Texas.
Triple Crown, you know we'll treat you right. Yeah, get on down to the Triple Crown and pick out your ride. Got what you need, come on, get your keys. Yeah, we got the best deal in town, so get on down to the Triple Crown.
Right now at Triple Crown Ford Lincoln, get 3.9% financing for 60 months on a new F-150 or get 0 for 60 on a new Lincoln Navigator.
Well, we got the best deal in town, so get on down to the Triple Crown.
Touchdown! Will they play it safe or make the bold choice and go for 2?
Go for it.
Gotta go for dos. Go for dos. Going for 2. Grab the Dos Equis. They're going for Dos. Dos Equis. Always go for Dos.
2-minute timeout in Stephenville. John Little back with Heckma Harrison, Kendra Sheehan, and our whole ESPN Plus crew. Tarleton State unable to find the footing early, but it's been a clinical effort ever since those early moments, and now it kind of feels inevitable the way they're taking over this game against Mississippi Valley.
Yeah, and Victor Cabales has just been patient, letting his wide receivers come open, and, man, he has really whatever he wants to throw, an opportunity to get guys in the places where they're most comfortable. The running game still, it hasn't failed him. Guys like Caleb Lewis and Trey Page are still giving him positive yardage. But number 11 is just way too comfortable out here.
Very little pressure on Victor Cabales on a gorgeous night in the Cross Timbers region of Texas. 3 receivers on first down from the 25 in the first play after the 2-minute timeout. And Cabales on play action, wings it up toward the end zone. A lot of contact, and there's the flag. Marquise Willis was tangled up with Antoine Monroe, the junior quarterback out of Oakland.
Automatic first down.
Willis comes up limping.
Yeah, got under him a little bit. Willis trying to jog it off.
Willis, who had the big touchdown catch earlier. And Tarleton already down a receiver. Don't want to see him go down.
Well, they really have had some really good wide receivers here at Tarleton.
Of course, Darius Cooper, the latest. Now with the Philadelphia Eagles. After going undrafted but putting on a show in Eagles camp. to make that team. On 1st and goal from the 10, Cabales to the bottom of your screen and trying to make his way to the end zone. Peyton Kramer twisted down after a gain of 6.
I just got to say, look, congratulations to Darius Cooper on making the 53-1. That was a Herculean effort by him, but just talk about how great he was as a wide receiver here, setting records. But, man, that was a guy that was a one-on-one nightmare for any defensive back.
No, it's just perfect for this system. And you love to see it for a guy who tonight, Stephenville, absolutely perfect. 73 degrees, clear. You can see for miles and almost a full moon. It is a waxing gibbous tonight.
Why do you know that?
You know, I'm just really smart.
What?
As he puts down his phone.
Okay.
He puts away his phone right now.
Okay. I'm like, come on now. Enough is enough. We're crying over chaps. You got a waxing gibbous. What's going on in your head, John?
He's Heckma Harrison. I'm John Little. Kendra Sheehan here along with our entire crew as well. Glad to have you with us tonight. And it is a feel-good night for Tarleton State fans who've seen their team dominate this evening to the tune of a 38-3 lead on Mississippi Valley State in the opening moments of the third quarter. And Victor Cabales is right now owning the Delta Devils. And his numbers on first down are just astounding tonight. We're talking about hitting 9 of his 13 passes, doing so for 160 yards. That's just on first down.
Yeah, I'm going to go back to that Kendra's report where she says Coach Buckley is committed to playing man-to-man. You see right there in that first drive why you kind of need to come out of that and get some safety help over the top.
Nothing you see in the SWAC is going to be tough for the kids on the side of Mississippi Valley State as, wow, Caleb Brownlow is stuck. And that is a flexing hit by the Jack linebacker, A.J. Owens.
See what the call is. A.J. Owens with just lowering the boom. We've seen one targeting penalty already and someone disqualified. I wonder if that's the call.
Personal foul, targeting, defense, number 16. This play is under further review.
And that draws the ire of the fans, and we'll take another look. The leading tackler for Tarleton is flagged.
And this is a guy that's wearing a club on his right hand. And this is just scraping and coming downhill. And again, you can see Coach Nix's defense, they pursue so well to the ball with great tacklers also.
So right now, A.J. Owens would be disqualified if this stands up. As you mentioned, there was a Mississippi Valley State player thrown out in the first half of this game. It was Arlo Henderson Jr. thrown out in the first quarter after he had a shot on Cody Jackson, and Jackson has not returned.
I mean, that's just running to the football. And again, as a broadcaster, I've become accustomed to it. I've seen it so many times. As a former linebacker, obviously I'm against it, but I understand how you push this game forward and how you could, commit to the participation by not having those nasty hits. But it's how you play the game.
Case in point, we haven't seen Cody Jackson since the targeting hit in the first half. And while Caleb Brownlow didn't look any worse for wear because the blow was more glancing, still trying to keep players healthy. It is absolutely of utmost importance in college football.
Yes, it is. And I see the attention to it, and that's why they're going to call it every time.
And again, as we said on the call in the first half, these officials will err on the side of throwing the flag for targeting and then have the opportunity to go and take a look at it. Referee John Kellermeyer conferring with the instant replay official, Lyndon Jacobson, who is up here in the booth, both part of this outstanding crew from the United Athletic Conference. And they're taking a good look at it.
Yeah, I don't blame them. I do not blame them. But this is a good-looking crowd on a beautiful night in Stephenville. Students are going to party hard tonight, boy, because they pulled out the getting back. I mean, these guys have been on the road for 2 weeks. First game at home. And what a welcome they received from this home crowd.
After review, there is no foul for targeting. Number 16 may remain in the game. It's second down.
Obviously, A.J. Owens is enthused. So is the home crowd. It's a little difficult to see the difference between the two fouls, the one from the first half and the one right now, but Tarleton State will absolutely take it.
Yeah, Arlo Henderson has something to say about that.
Imagine he does. 38-3, Tarleton State leading big. Joshua Brown to the air. It's a third down and had his receiver open. Cameron Nelson came uncovered at the 43, but the ball sails over his head. Now it's third down.
I tell you, great route there, though, by Cameron Nelson. There's not a connection from Joshua Brown.
So this will be third for Joshua Brown and company. Transfer out of Shorter University. Brown having to scramble. Brown throwing on the run up the sideline, and it is incomplete. Intended for Makai Norris, but there were two players there for Tarleton State, undercutting the route. Avian Rice, he had the best chance to catch it.
Yeah, they better find an answer for number 11, Yasser Holmes, because Holmes putting pressure on Joshua Brown.
He's a big question.
He is,
You got to find an answer.
Yes, you do. It's 11 and 10. But either way, you're going into double coverage, safety help over the top. That would have been a hard completion for Mississippi Valley State.
Only 3 to snap it here. And they get the snap off. It's very high, and somehow the punt is away. Tarleton State will let it roll. Great job to leap up and grab that poor snap by Nicholas Stevens and somehow get away a spiraling kick. It ends up being the best punt of the night, somehow after all that.
Also the best catch of the night by Mississippi Valley State, going up and getting that one. Because that looked like that was obviously going to go over his head.
Tarleton State took only one play for Victor Gabalis to add to his huge night, his 4th touchdown pass. Doing so to 4 different receivers, this time Trayvon West getting into the action with his 2nd touchdown catch in a Tarleton State uniform. He has had a breakout night with more than 100 yards. Now Tarleton State trying to get the running game going, and Trey Page III to the edge. And he has a nice gain on first down, picking up a chunk of 7.
Yeah, I tell you, Coach Witten was not happy about that 25 yards going in at half. And I'm sure he told his guys, we got to run this rock.
I mean, this is a Tarleton State team that's averaged 247 on the ground over the first 2 weeks.
5-yard penalty, first down.
In addition to that, they will add on another 5. Trey Page III, the freshman of the week in the conference after an 89-yard day at Army. And that was following up the 170 that he had at Portland State. Pretty ridiculous start to the career of Trey Page III.
And that was a tough 89 yards for Agent Zero. He made it happen. He and Caleb Lewis. Again, this tandem, both of these guys, man, they have some of those similar qualities. Jump cut, but really, it really, for me, it's in those close areas, man, where you really get to see the genius in these running backs, man. They really are shifty, but also slippery. You got to make sure you get them down. Gang tackle is what you got to do with these 2 running backs.
I think the thing that absolutely impressed the country the most in that win last Friday night over Army was the way that up front Tarleton dominated on both sides of the ball, the offensive line and the defensive line. Victor Gabalis hasn't been touched tonight up the sideline where his receiver is touched a lot. And a pass interference penalty on the way as Reginald Harden was hugged up the sideline.
Pass interference, defense, automatic first down.
Oh, here's the deal. Coach Buckley has just told his corners, it's you. We're going mano-a-mano. Don't even worry about it. I'm going to set you up on the outside and do the best you can. And you saw right there, his DB was beat. And what does he do? He bear hugs. I'd rather I give you the yards, but I'm not giving up the touchdown.
Victor Cabalas on the money most of the night, hitting on 73% of his passes. Big numbers for number 11. Back to the air on first down. Cabalas finally hit, throws off his back foot, and another pass interference is coming. They've thrown a freshman who's listed as a wide receiver out there in Joey Davis, number
Pass
89,
interference,
and
defense,
he has to cover.
Automatic first down.
He has to cover Reginald Harden, and it's just not a fair fight at this point.
Yeah, and at this point, you're doing it by committee. And you're doing it by committee. Coach Edwards probably just turned and says, who wants to play cornerback tonight? Because we've got to figure out a way to stop these guys. And Victor Cabalas is being sacked, drugged down by his back pockets, and he still is able to get that ball off and draw the PI.
Shows how strong he is at 6'3", 210. Must be the mustache.
It gotta be the mustache.
From the 27, Trey Page the third. Pounds for one of his best runs of the night. Falls forward in the arms of Kamzi Arenzi, redshirt sophomore linebacker, down to the 21. Pick up a 5.
You get a score here, and you got to feel good about it. If you are the Texans opening up here in the third quarter, you start with the touchdown and second drive, you cap that off, man. Maybe that'll change Coach Witten's mind about how he feels about his offense.
He's got a man again. Oh my goodness! Once more. Well, one official is calling it a touchdown for Bryce Parker. The other says incomplete. We'll see who gets the call. Either way, what a pass by Victor Cabalas into the arms of Bryce Parker, who is convinced he's got to score. And I don't want to disagree with him.
Look, I don't want to get excited. They're going to have to call this a touchdown. I just need to see them raise their hands. This is the first outstanding throw by Victor Cabalas. But Bryce Parker, come on. That's sick.
Just wearing a DB, Heckman.
Shot.
And so John Kellermeyer has chosen his tribute to have to go out and tell the fans that it was incomplete.
Oh, man, the replay here is going to tell the story. Oh,
I don't
boy,
know,
that's
man.
Close.
You got to take this to the replay booth and see.
Yeah, you got to slow this down right there. Did it touch the ground? It didn't touch.
I just don't think it did.
Unbelievable.
And it's a one-handed catch.
And they don't have to go back. They don't review it.
All right. So the 21-yard touchdown is for naught.
Wow.
Boy, it looked good.
Wow.
Now the field judge is stopping the play. I think
Look at this.
There it is.
Incomplete
It
pass.
is going to be reviewed.
Oh, he got that.
I think that's a catch. I think that's a catch.
Ooh, that is sick.
This is Bryce Parker, who's had the ball thrown his way just a couple times tonight. The first one, a wide-open touchdown of 17 yards, and then this one would be the best catch I've seen in college football in a couple years.
Out of Inglewood High School, a long way from home. But, man, oh, man, he brought his hands with him to Stephenville, Texas.
Or at least his left hand. We know that.
Yeah, all he needed was one.
That's right.
That was an amazing catch. That's it. Well, I tell you what, I know how he got it. It was his left arm, got it under it. Victor Cabalas with the touch on that throw. This crowd is going to go crazy if he comes back and tells us.
All right. Couple more looks for you. What do you see, Heck?
Here's the one. And look, left hand, Left arm.
Ooh, the hand from the DB is on the ball. I think that's a catch.
That's a catch all day long. That's a catch all day long.
And it's a great job to stay with it by Kobe Bird.
Here's the second
the
look.
Safety, but
here it is. Catch.
Look, he's got his hand on that ball. Somehow it's in the crook of his arm. I think.
Look, and I'm looking at the nose of the football, seeing does the nose of the football touch the ground?
I don't think it ever does. Now, the one thing is it was called incomplete on the field. So it's got to be, they've got to have evidence to overturn it. They've got to be able to look at this and say, absolutely, that's a catch. And so that is working against Bryce Parker here.
Wow.
But
that's tough. That really is tough.
My first thought is catch. And if it was called catch on the field, I think it would stand up. I think the thing that's working against Parker is it was called incomplete on the field.
Here's the catch. Look at the nose of the ball.
Shot. Great job by it. Great job by our crew.
That is a catch.
Incredible job by
a catch.
Our crew.
Come on, listen to this crowd, though.
Here it comes. It's a catch.
After review, the receiver completed the process of a catch. Touchdown.
Yeah.
And there are 21,000 humans at Memorial Stadium that are saying, yes, we knew that.
Yeah, tried to tell you. What
and so did Bryce Parker. Wow.
That was a clutch catch. The Utah Tech commit. My goodness. That is highlight reel stuff right there for number 10.
And 5 touchdowns and no picks for Victor Cabales tonight. They are basking in the purple glow tonight in Stephenville. The number 3 Tarleton State Texans all over Mississippi Valley State. Really sets up well for Tarleton State early in the season. And I think, the biggest challenge is going to be that Central Arkansas road game.
Yeah, look, Tarleton finishing last year, ranked coming into this year with their highest ranking. Look, they don't lose a lot here at home. It's a tough place to come into. You talked about the matchups that they have on the road, and that's where they get battle tested. This is a team that is obviously taking the steps to get to the next level, but they're doing it with talent acquisition. And look, this something magical about this year is starting to happen.
Seeking their first 3-0 start in Division I history. Todd Whitten has had several 3-0 starts as the head coach here at Tarleton State, but only when they were Division II. As this kickoff checks up, and it's taken in back at the 2-yard line. Oh, but stepping out of bounds. What are they going to call here? Oh, the receiver made a signal for a fair catch, saying he was stepping away from it, and because of that fair catch signal and letting it hit, it comes out to the 25. So the T signal is good enough for the fair catch.
Well, they're placing it at the 4-yard line.
Oh, wow.
So a massive mistake was made.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and that makes more sense. So wow. So if you make the T signal, that is the fair catch signal. But if you would have caught it in the air, it would be at the 25. But because you caught it on the bounce, it goes down to the 4. So tough one there for Caleb Brownlow. And back to Brandon Nunez at quarterback, who has had some moments in this game. And Nunez up the sideline, but throws it right into the waiting arms of the cornerback, Jeremiah Postel. And Postel makes it a 4-turnover night for the Texans.
You know what they say, when you play with skills, good luck can happen. And Postel, right where he needs to be, Nunez trying to find his receiver, too much air on it, and Postel just ran the route for the receiver.
And Tarleton State here early in the third quarter has turned this game over to the 2s. And Jeremiah Postel looking like a 1 out there with the first interception of his career. The transfer from Division II, Southern Arkansas. He was a mule rider. Now he's a Texan. 1st and 10 for Tarleton State. And new quarterback, is Daniel Greek, and on the zone read, he decides to keep it himself, and he goes down in a heap with a face mask as well by Khalil Hunter.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, number 25. Penalties half the distance to the goal line, automatic first down.
It's a rude way to greet the new quarterback.
Yeah, I think they're not worried concerned at all about that, boy, but Daniel Greek comes in and right away with the face mask, head turned the other way. Goodness. Had to call it for the referee. And Daniel Greek out of Argyle Liberty Christian. Big old kid.
Started his career at Mississippi State, was a 3-star kid coming out of Liberty Christian. That was pre-Witten taking over. As the slant route is on the money for the touchdown to Keelan Johnson. The son of former Texas wide receiver B.J. Johnson is back on the board. The 7th touchdown grab of his career puts Tarleton State over half 100.
And you just look right here with Daniel Greek. He knows where he's going with that ball pre-snap. Great route by Keelan Johnson getting in on the score.
Keelan Johnson has had his moments in a Tarleton State uniform, including 219 and 4 scores against North Alabama a few seasons back. Brad Larson continues to be perfect on extra points. And in the stead of Cody Jackson, without their top receiver, the Tarleton wideouts have still had a huge night.
Yeah, they are having their way. And if you're committed to playing man-to-man on these guys, this is the treatment that you're going to get. Everything is on the menu for the Texans.
Everything's coming up, Texans.
Wow. What a throw. I mean, you don't miss.
And if I didn't see a guy without a mustache out there, I would have thought that might have been Victor Gabalis, the way Daniel Greek threaded that in there.
No, I would tend to agree with you. I tend to agree with you. Both of them big, strong guys and the stature in the pocket. But he put that one right on him.
I want to get your thoughts on this. Tarleton State, you said something before the last kickoff. Talent acquisition. There's no doubt about that. But I think even more than that is going the next level for this Tarleton State squad over the last few years. Not only are they into talent acquisition, they're able to keep their talent in Stephenville. Their top guys that certainly have had offers to go other places, like a Darius Cooper, like a Victor Gabalis, but they're not in the portal. They're here year after year. How are they doing that in Stephenville?
It's just the culture you build. And we talked about with Ty Rawls, and he was in the portal, his decision to come back, coaches. Look, when you build a culture like this, it is contagious, and guys want to be a part of this. You get an opportunity to play winning football, and they're building it brick by brick here. And you got the right coach for it. I mean, you have any conversations with Coach Todd Witten, he's engaging, he's letting you know, look, this is exactly what we're doing. We're not trying to sell something to anybody around here. And that's what I think a lot of recruits come off feeling like the head coaches and assistant coaches are more car salesmen than they are coaches. And so if Coach Todd Witten comes and he sits in your living room and he's going to put it straight to your young athlete, I think that's all you can ask for. These guys are coming in here and they're playing their tails off. But bigger than that, John, they are getting developed.
And there are some guys, as Brandon Nunez gets his man on the edge and picks up a few to E.J. Luckett. There are guys that have been here 5 or 6 years under Coach Witten.
Yes.
And when that happens, yeah, you're being developed as a player. Hopefully you turn pro, but as a man as well. And you've got so much experience on this team this season.
Yeah, quality education to go with it here at Tarleton State. But, man, that's literally unheard of these days.
This is going to be a pass interference penalty as Giovanni Melidor was holding on the receiver, Christian White.
Pass interference, defense, automatic first down.
And when I say it's literally unheard of, in the transfer portal era, guys don't stay at schools for 4 and 5 years. I was watching the game the other day, and this guy he'd gone to 3 different colleges. So if something doesn't work out at one place, you just go to another one. Doesn't work out there, go to another. Guys are waiting for their opportunity here in Tarleton because they know it's coming. Look at this roster. Look at the guys that they have that have been here 3, 4 years. They've waited for their opportunity, and when it came, they took full advantage of it.
And across the other side, as plowing forward, is Norman Taylor. You've got coaching staff coming in at Mississippi Valley State, led by Terrell Buckley. They would love to be talking about something similar 4 or 5 years from now in Itabena. What is it going to take for them to build something similar in the SWAC?
Make this a destination place. Make this a destination place that you want to come to and play at.
An overthrow and an interception, and nobody out in front of Jaden Aubert, who returns it all the way for a score. Tarleton State continues to pour it on thanks to a pick 6.
John, there's a saying in football, tips and overthrows, gotta get those. And you put that out there, baby, we going to the house. And that's what you just got. A house call down the sideline. Man, that was incredible. And Coach Tyrone Nix's defense, they are inevitable.
This is with the backups in there. But Jaden Aubert proving to be an excellent backup. He had 9 tackles, 7 of the solo variety in the incredible win at Army last week. This week, a pick 6, a house call to put Tarleton State up 59-3. It is a run. He makes the pick and takes it back 6-7.
Tarleton State's defense have been all over Mississippi Valley State here with that pick 6, and a big part of that defensive unit is the senior defensive lineman Brandon Tolver. But in a span of 2 weeks, Tolver lost 2 grandmothers that served as parental figures in his life. And for a while, Tolbert said it broke him down, but he found the strength to keep going, and instead of giving in to the pain, he chose to use it as fuel. In turn, dedicate every season of football he gets to play to his grandmothers, Emily Williams and Deborah Gatewood. He said, quote, "The way they raised me and the way I turned out makes me glad they were my grandmothers. And when I go on to do higher and better things, it's going to be dedicated to them because they made me the man I am today." And certainly he's put on a performance along with his entire defensive unit today. John?
Kendra, thank you so much. And Brandon Tolbert with a couple of tackles in this one, a half for loss. And as much as he has meant on the field in his production for Tarleton, he's one of those guys that's a leader. They need him engaged. And, you know, everybody goes through tough times, Heckman. Everybody goes through dark times. And our hearts go out to Brandon for what he and his family have lost. And so happy that he is in a better headspace these days.
Yeah, my condolences to that young man and his family. It's unimaginable to lose 2 grandmothers. You know, man, that's a tough subject for me. I lost my grandmother, and I'm gonna tell you right now, man, I am half the man that I have been because of losing my grandmother. So I'm telling you that for Brandon Tolver, my prayers go out to him. And I just pray that this young man continues to soldier through.
Absolutely. And going through tough times as Brandon Nunez powers forward here and pops out the other side with a tough run. You know, it makes you reflect.
Yes.
And obviously he is trying to use it as fuel. And, you know, it certainly it could work out in a situation where Brandon Tolbert and the rest of this team are better, not because of necessarily what he went through, but because of the mental exercise that it is to overcome it.
Yeah, adversity definitely fuels your character, and that young man is going to have plenty of it.
On third down, here's Brandon Nunez. Again, a floating throw, and it's incomplete. It was hung up there in the hands of Mekhi Norris, but a huge hit by Jeremiah Postel, who had an interception earlier. He dislodges this one. It's fourth down.
Yeah, that's a ball that obviously Nunez is too much air under it, and you're giving the defense an opportunity to just tee off on your receivers out in space. Look at the throw here. Again, too high, and Jeremiah Postel, already understand that there's this targeting calls being called in this game. Guys have, been disqualified, but great job of, not using your helmet.
Really solid punt here. Caleb Lewis gave it a thought better of it. And it's down at the 31-yard line. So for Tarleton State, 59-3 is the advantage. Already had a 31-3 lead at the half and have poured it on in the third quarter with 28 more points since the break. And they're coming off that FBS win over Army last week. And what a job the defense did last week against Army, especially making their way into the backfield at Army. 24 yards of lost yardage on 8 TFLs in that win for Tarleton, plus the job they did taking the ball away as well. I know you're a big fan of this Tarleton defense under Tyrone Nix for a number of reasons.
Yeah, I love the way that they take the ball away. And in that game versus Army, here's the thing. You're going up against an offense that isn't conventional. And so how do you simulate that in practice? And their ability to go out there and shut that down, and when they need it, it was a ton of back and forth, when obviously goes into overtime. But, man, you just got to play your heart out, play alignment, assignment, and not allow that quarterback to get out the back door. They did a really fantastic job of stopping Army when they needed to. And the great thing about that is going forward, they might not see another offense like that, but this defense, boy, they are starved for those interceptions and turnovers.
Well, D'Angelo Rosemont has been waiting his turn for Tarleton State. And here with this game out of hand in the third quarter, Rosemont is getting some totes. Now, you remember a couple of years ago, D'Angelo Rosemont was actually the starting running back on this team. Moved his way into a kick returner duty, but and when he gets some space, he can go.
Yes, he can. Yes, he can. And look, it's a guy, another one of those examples of a guy not hitting the portal.
Yeah. Staying
committed, loving the environment that he is in and the chances that he's getting. And I've called plenty of games where Rosemont has been the starting quarterback.
And Rosemont takes the handoff from Daniel Greek again and has 3 carries for 39 yards on this drive. It's the second drive led by Daniel Greek, who had a touchdown pass last time he was out there, with more on the quarterback from Argyle, Texas. Here's Kendra Sheehan.
Before summer camp in 2023, backup quarterback Daniel Greek got salmonella. He actually had to be hospitalized for several days. And you look at his career, he's had to overcome serious sickness, injury, surgery, and rehab, but he came back stronger. And every play he's out there, he's just trying to help his team get better and make plays, and that's certainly his mission here tonight.
Rosemont takes the handoff and runs about 25 yards to get a -2. Man, he's out there running hard. But, man, and that goes to show as just a great job by Kendra to point out Brandon Tolbert, what he's been through, Daniel Greek, what he's been through. Everybody has their own story of adversity. And, when you bring the right people together under those circumstances, you come up with a pretty special team out there.
Wow, over salmonella. That's something serious, man. And talk about adversity. It's another one of those stories, as you just pointed out.
And this is James Page running the football, listed as a quarterback for Tarleton State. but Page getting his first carry of his career out there as a running back and picking up 5.
Hey, take it how I can get it. Get me in the game. Get me lathered up, coach. James Page, I'll play running back, wide receiver, wherever you want to put me.
Remember Tarleton State in the first game of the year at Portland State. Tylen Hines, a transfer from Hawaii, had a nice start to that game, but picked up a shoulder injury. Braylon Bridges, who played a lot last year, hasn't played this season yet. Greek on a quarterback draw. Daniel Greek getting vertical and picking up a first down into the red zone at the 18.
Yeah, man, talk about being sick. He's making Mississippi Valley sick right now. They thought they had this big-time third down. They cover up everything on the back end, and what does Daniel do? He says, look, I guess if you're gonna have everything covered up, I'll take it myself and pick up the first down.
Greek has already led one touchdown drive and looking for another. Tarleton State in control, their first home game of the year. Another give to Page.
Oof.
Patience, but he gets twisted around for a pickup of 3.
You know, you have that Mississippi Valley defense. That defensive front, boy, they really were bringing it to this offensive line. And you can tell as the minutes and seconds have ticked away, this Tarleton State offensive line, man, they are just pinning their ears back and coming after these guys.
So offensive line for Tarleton State going to the secondary unit. They've held up pretty well, too. Greek back to the ground. Page threw a couple arm tackles. And he doesn't run like your typical quarterback out there. He runs with a running back mentality for sure. That's a 6-yard pickup.
Well, look, he's 5'10", 200 pounds. He's just as big as the guys that they have starting. He's a lot heavier than Trey Page, who they have listed at 5'9", 180. So no difference here. Don't let the 14 in the QB next to his name fool you.
And no relation, by the way, Trey Page and James Page. James has that I stuck in the middle of the A and the G. Although they are both from Georgia, James from Noonan and Trey from Atlanta. There's third down, and Greek bottled up, taken down right at the line of scrimmage, and actually a loss of 1. Nice job to wrestle him to the turf by Kobe Bird. That leaves a 4th down 2.
Yeah, Kobe Bird just camped out over there on the edge of the defense. Makes a solid tackle, but doesn't look like Coach Witten is bringing in his field goal unit.
Bird, the transfer from Louisiana Tech in his second year at Mississippi Valley State, wants to close his career strong. His final year of college football. And the offense stays out there. 4th down and 2. They need the 8-yard line to continue the drive. And Page, a run blitz, is taken down hard. Excellent job by Tyron Evans, 295-pound freshman, sitting down James Page and ending the drive.
And all you get right there is a young man that shoots the gap, and he guesses right, runs right into Page for the stop on 4th down.
But look at the hand that James Page is getting from the sideline. Looks like they thought the young man did a great job of eating up some carries in the backfield.
Yeah, eating up those carries, and this is a guy playing out of position, getting an opportunity tonight. So that's what you see from his teammates. Just showing the gratitude for his hustle.
Tarleton showing the hustle tonight. Showing the muscle, too. Outscoring Mississippi Valley State 28-0 since the halftime break. Open up a huge lead. Another drive for Brandon Nunez at quarterback, and a second effort run. Nice run at that for Shade Schaefer. Or rather, it was Joe Williams, excuse me, number 6 getting the carry there. Back to the original starter at the running back spot. He picks up 9.
Yeah, I thought that second effort got him to the first down marker, but they listed. If they put him down just short.
Joe Williams out of Memphis. Three-sport athlete at Melrose High School, playing baseball and basketball. In addition to his exploits on the football field, nice job to fire through, pick up 2, and move the chains for his Delta Devils.
Yeah, leaning forward for the first down.
Williams really more of a wide receiver in his time at Melrose High School. His senior season, he had 43 grabs for 651 and 7 touchdowns. Transitioning to the backfield, Mississippi Valley State finding a home for sure. The final play of the third quarter here in Stephenville. And again, it's Williams getting a touch. Popped hard. Good hit put on by Hagan Stevenson, the senior defensive back. And that's the final play of the third quarter. Tarleton State opens things up since the break and has made it a party in Stephenville, Titletown. Tarleton State up big. It's the football team, but the school as a whole welcoming 21,000 students to town this year, including 4,000 first-year students.
I think we saw all of them.
I think we did. We saw every single one of them run out before the game. And it's been a celebration of football tonight as Tarleton State looks for a 3-0 start to a Division I season for the first time in school history. Number 3 team in FCS having their way with Mississippi Valley State under a first-year head coach. And a throw on the money goes to Mekhi Norris from Brandon Nunez and just was able to thread it over the outstretched arms of Kobe Dickens. It's enough for the first down.
Yeah, we'll take that from Nunez. Getting it out to his big-time receiver. This is a team, I tell you what, Mississippi Valley State hasn't had a ton of success over the years, only winning and not having any double-digit win seasons in the last 5 years.
Yeah, last time they had a winning record was 2006, so talking about 19 years ago.
And that is, you talk about how you change this around for Coach Buckley. It's an uphill battle, but he took this on with change in mind. And it's going to start, obviously, with the coaching staff, which he's done, but you got to get your players in here. You want to play your brand of football. His commitment to playing man-to-man on the outside, I'll tell you what, you're going to have to get corners that have the skill set to be able to do that.
And Prince Ijoma and Cole McKinney gave it a really good shot tonight against Tarleton State. But, you know, you ran into a quarterback on the other side that just absolutely can drop it wherever he wants, whenever he wants in Victor Cabalas, and that makes it difficult. But, yeah, they were going for the win tonight. They were saying, we're going to stop the run, we're going to put the ball in Victor Cabalas' hands, and he's going to have to beat us, and Victor Cabalas did tonight.
Yeah, and that's what you want with the experience that you have at quarterback, that you beat the teams, that you manhandle the teams that you know you're supposed to manhandle. And they did that. Obviously, it wasn't exact from that first quarter, and Coach Whitten let you know about it. But these are games that you're supposed to win big.
Be a quarterback run on first down for Nunez. He's a big boy, 6'5", 235 pounds, but he gets kind of tossed around out there. Leslie Adenendu, Jaden Shaw, a couple guys on the defensive line turning him away.
And you see these guys getting opportunity, games like this, get an opportunity to see guys that have tried to work their way into a rotation, but now, you know, look, you get out here and you get an opportunity to prove it.
Tarleton State has not given up a touchdown to an FCS team yet this season. I'd love to see that continue, even though it's the 2s and the 3s out here right now. As Joe Williams runs into the second level and then he's dragged back by Bam Smith and others. And then Some pushing and shoving at the end of that play. Les Odemara seems to think this is going to go on Mississippi Valley State, and I guess we'll see who they caught here. It's a post-play penalty.
And just frustration starting to bubble over.
You see number 77, Brendan McGee, getting lifted from the game right now. His offensive coordinator, Samuel Parker, talking it over.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, offense, number 77, his first. 15-yard penalty. The down counts. Third down.
So a promising little drive for Mississippi Valley State is going to run into a third down and very long after the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty.
How many times have we seen Mississippi Valley have something positive go on, and then out of nowhere, a penalty that takes them completely out of it?
Yeah. I do confirm it is on McGee. I think they looked around and they were looking for the number, and McGee wasn't on the field. That's because he had been taken out by his coaches.
Yeah, they took him out, and Coach Buckley is giving him an earful. Not even looking at the game. He is walking with his offensive lineman.
Third down, 24, and it'll be a fourth down at about 24 as well. Nothing there in the middle of that line. Tarleton State's defense continues to do work like they have all night. Doesn't matter who lines up in purple, they're going to have success.
Wow. Yeah, defensively, they just put a show out here, shutting it down. You see it right there. 3 interceptions, 70 yards off of those interceptions, and 8 tackles for loss.
New return man back for Tarleton State. As they put the man with 2 touchdown grabs, Bryce Parker back there. Be a delay.
A penalty, fourth down.
Give Nicholas Stevens a little bit more room to work with. Seeing his leg get better and better as the night's going on. Tell you, watch out for Bryce Parker, though. He's got a little wiggle if he gets the ball in his hands. Great punt. Parker from the 22. Parker. Good blocking developing. And Parker with a 15-yard return out to the 37.
He had a small window. He looked for it, but boy, there was no daylight to break that one open.
Tarleton broke this one open a long time ago, leading big in Stephenville. Real Estate Group house call of the game. Oh, does it get any better than that? Victor Gabalis with a bead on Trayvon West. A frozen rope for 47 yards. And one of the big touchdowns tonight for Tarleton State.
It really just didn't get any better than that for Victor Gabalis. I mean, he was throwing some strikes, but that one right there, he may as well just walked it out there himself. Trayvon West, it won't get any better than that.
Quarterback number 3 of the night for Tarleton State. A big, big pop as Jaden Pete, the quarterback, hands it off to James Page. And Page is tattooed right at the line of scrimmage for no gain.
Woo. That was how you die. Hey, you want to, that's teach tape right there for tackling for Byron Keys.
Don't tell Byron this game's over.
No, it ain't for him.
Byron Keys coming downhill. 6'2", 205-pound sophomore. And look at the offensive line for Tarleton State. Page, another look. He slithers through tackles. That offensive line just put a hat on a hat. Heckman grinding forward.
And you mentioned, even though that it's the second team of offensive linemen, that nastiness is still apparent, man. These guys, again, they are pushing around this Mississippi Valley State defensive line, who spent a lot of time on the field. Bless their heart, because really offensively it's been a ton of 3-and-outs.
We've got some talented guys on this offensive line at the backup spots. Alex Tote, number 75, has been a starter at Indiana State. Alec Ambrosia at right guard has been a starter at Central Connecticut, was an honorable mention All-American. And they blow open this hole for Page. Page with a spin move, nearly got away. But as it is a huge run for James Page, who is working his magic from the running back spot.
Yeah, I don't think he was just satisfied with getting in on that drive, getting stopped on 4th down and all the pats on the helmet from his teammates. It's like, man, I got more to show. I had an opportunity to get to the end zone. I'm going to take it.
Man. Left guard Alex Tote pulling out to the right and throwing a lead block to perfection.
Yeah, he unloaded too.
Midway through the 4th quarter, Tarleton State near the red zone again. And this time it's going to be Pete. Pete with a lead block, cuts it up. First down inside the 10 for Jaden Pete.
Everyone wants in on the act. As Pete has an opportunity on that option, he takes it and has the whole corner to himself.
Jaden Pete, transfer from Tyler Junior College. Had a chance to fill in for Victor Gabalis when he was hurt last year, but Pete got a little bit banged up himself. Seeing his first action of the season. First and goal at the 8. It's a carry for Page. Following the block of the center, Artis Hall out of Beaumont, Westbrook High School, deep southeast Texas. Ryan's for a couple more. It's 2nd and goal from the 6.
Let's see if the Texans keep this one, keep it on the ground, or do they give Pete an opportunity to throw the ball?
Decisions. There haven't been many decisions, especially in the second half, that haven't been on the money. 450 yards of offense tonight for the Texans. Pete keeps it. Pete trying to get forward, but he is erased. Khalil Hunter was there first, and then Adonis Edwards-Jackson finishes him off for a big loss back to the 11.
Yeah, going the wrong direction is Pete, trying to make something happen, but the play completely broke down.
The line of scrimmage now, the 11-yard line.
So on 3rd and goal from the 11. Jaden Pete trying to get Tarleton State into the end zone. Another one for Page. Ripping off the right side and grinding down to the 7. Let's go down to Kendra Sheehan on the sideline.
Outs to come through Tarleton State, and Darius Cooper made his way onto the Philadelphia Eagles roster this summer, proving that no matter where you come from, if you are good enough, you can get to the next level. But for a guy like Cooper, it's the place that got him there that means the most. So Cooper flew over from Philly to West Point to be on the sidelines as his alma mater took down FBS foe Army in double overtime. I asked Coach Witten what his support meant, and he joked saying, man, wish we could have thrown him out there. But in all seriousness, great to have him around the program again.
That's awesome. Oh, James Page, I should say, nearly with a house call, but he trips over the 5-yard line. It's a turnover on downs for Tarleton State. And the Delta Devils are able to get a stop on Forley State. Will stay out of the SWAC for one more time. They'll take on Southeastern Louisiana out of the Southland Conference next Saturday. And then it is more SWAC action. They opened up with a SWAC game against Southern. And they'll take on Texas Southern at home. Back-to-back home games, in fact, as they'll also face Florida A&M.
Oh my gosh. I just saw a score that Army's beating K-State. I'm sorry. I didn't hear words you just said.
So by, if you compare scores, does that mean that Tarleton State would also beat Kansas State? For those that are joining us late, by the way. For those joining us late, remember, Heckma Harrison is a K-State great, by the way.
Wow, that's not right.
Man, on that sweep, Peyton Kramer gets, or rather for Mississippi Valley State, I should say, Carrick Ross gets hit hard, even loses a shoe.
A shoe?
It's out of his right boot.
Oh,
my. Are you okay, Heckma?
No.
Not doing well?
I'm just a little ill. I'll never hear that.
Well, your other school's doing okay today. They got to win in overtime today. That was good. North Texas over Western Michigan. Is that not consolation for you? I mean, I know that you tend toward the K-State side of things, and I understand that.
I do. It's just where I am right now.
Just where you are right now.
Right at this second. It's just everybody showing me the score. Look. And then you putting that together so quickly. Well, does this mean that if the Texans were to play Kansas State, put me in that.
You going to be all right?
Yeah, I'll be fine.
All right. Ruben Lee, the second, I should say, is now the quarterback.
Coach Buckley is going to just anybody. Hey, look, we got to find us a quarterback tonight.
Maybe he'll get a chance to sling it around a little bit. Got Naquan Webster in the backfield with him. 3:40 to play. This is 3rd down. Pulls it back. And picks up a couple, but not enough. Another good tackle. Hagan Stevenson does a nice job to read that play. It'll be 4th down, Mississippi Valley State.
Yeah, this is 3 and out for the Devils. Nothing, absolutely nothing going their way tonight. I mean, it started right away from the first kickoff.
It was only 7-0 after the first quarter.
Yeah.
Remember that. And there were moments where Mississippi Valley State was making Tarleton think, but when Tarleton put it into overdrive, there was no stopping the Texans tonight. Stevens punt. Fair catch called for. And made at the 42 by Bryce Parker, who has 2 touchdown grabs in this one. It has been a Texans type of evening. 6 touchdown passes, 1 touchdown run, and a pick